Hey everybody, welcome to Beyond the Booth here on RiverCity-Media. Sorry there's no countdown tonight, but everything got moved around and I have no idea where the countdown button is at tonight. So we're just going to go straight into it. So I'm Howie Cheney along with Phil Harris, and our special guest tonight, one of our special guests tonight is Coach Tyler Vann. Also just named today Scottsboro Jefferson's Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach, and I hope you're willing to share some of those wings with us.
Yeah. Hey, I'm excited to eat there a lot more. Our guys eat there every week, don't you, Law?
Yes, sir.
It is awesome. I do appreciate it.
That's great, Coach. We appreciate your time tonight, and we're going to get right into it. I didn't know that we had some other guests that's going to be joining us tonight, so the more the merrier. You know how it is with me. You know, the more people we get on here, the better it is. So, Coach, got a couple quick questions, and then we're going to introduce these guys and let everybody know who they are. I heard earlier today, and you confirmed it a while ago, the game's been changed to Thursday night. What was the process in going into that?
Yeah, I think that process really started Saturday. Coach Rating had mentioned the weather being bad on Friday with rain and weather and stuff like that. So it had been talked about all through the weekend, and something they wanted to do. And I finally jumped on board with it as well. So we ended up moving that to Thursday, which is good. I'd rather play in dry conditions anyway. So I think it'll either way. But I don't like Thursday games at all, but we'll play whenever somebody wants to tee it up. We're going to give everything we got.
I know how meticulous you are with schedules and structure and everything. So when this process kind of got started, did you have two practice schedules that you came out with in case you did change it to a Thursday?
No, we just want to do normal Monday, Tuesday. Either way, it just kind of changes what we do on Wednesdays a little bit. But their Monday and Tuesday was actually our normal. Probably went a little longer yesterday, knowing that we was probably changing it. I know we didn't make it official until today, but it was pretty much a done deal probably yesterday evening. So, this weekend on Sunday, when we met as coaches on Sunday, we kind of knew that this was probably coming down the pipe. So I ended up working out all right.
Awesome. Like I said, we got some guests down below us down here. We're going to start with Connor, work our way across, and if you will, introduce yourself and what grade you're in and what position you play.
My name is Connor Baden. I'm a sophomore this year, and I'm at receiver and safety.
My name is Cohen Thompson. I'm a senior receiver.
I'm Lawson Lee, middle linebacker. I'm a senior.
I'm Jacoby Emerson. I'm a running back, and I'm a senior.
I don't know if y'all guys know or not, but Coach Vann's the best at whatever happens. So, in case you didn't know that,
you got all those positions, right, Law?
Yes, sir. All of them.
Yeah. So the receivers and all that, I know Coach Vann still likes to chunk that ball around a little bit during practice and warm-ups and stuff like that. So he still got a pretty good, decent arm on him.
I'd say it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. He still got it.
Who's better, him or the starting quarterback?
I'd have to say Colton right now. He's been throwing that thing lately.
We all know it's all good.
Guys, we appreciate y'all's time. One quick question, then I'll turn it over to Phil. I know he's got a ton of stuff going, and we're going to start with Jacoby and work our way back across. What does it mean to be going into the third round of the playoffs?
It means a lot. Like, this is something Scottsboro hasn't seen in a long time, and we just ready to go out there and give it all and make it to the semis and then make it to state and win it all.
No, that means everything to represent Scottsboro and just our community. I mean, we're just going out there to Thursday night to be able to come back home, play one more at Trammell, especially for the seniors, So.
Yeah, it means a lot. It's a really special moment. You can do something that's never been done. Just go out there and give it our all. Keep going each week.
And I just like proving people wrong. Nobody thought we'd make it this far. Now we got a chance to make a run towards state. It's just awesome.
That's the answer that I think Coach Vann loves to hear. Nobody expected us to make it, but we want to prove everybody wrong. I've heard him say that many, many times over the last several years. Phil, I'll turn it over to you. I can sit here and ask these guys questions all night long. So, Phil, it's all you.
Okay. Well, Coach, I want to start out, anytime, it seems like every day somebody's looking up on Facebook or looking to see what state championship Scottsboro, the school, has won. It seems like every time you turn around, they've won something. Maybe it's football time this time. What do you think about that?
That's our goal. We don't take it 1 week at a time. All we can control right now is Fairview, but that's definitely what we started the new season 1 week at a time. We said give everything we got for 5 weeks and see what happens. And I think our guys believe we can do it. But at the end of the day, we're trying to beat a real good, really good Fairview team, 12-0, and one game at a time, like I said. And just like last week, I don't think anybody thinks we should even go warm up. So that's kind of the mindset we're taking. We're going to get off the bus. We're going to be there. But I don't think anybody else thinks we should. But we're excited about it. And like the guy said, like we're trying to prove a lot of people wrong. So nobody thinks we can do it. Even right now, everybody's doubting us. But that's kind of the best part of it. We love that.
Yeah. Well, and I tell people, and I've talked about this on the scoreboard, you see Scottsboro's record today, 8-4. Don't be deceived by that, because this is a team that you would look at that's in that 9-1 range, because it's a team that won a region championship. They're battle tested, so it's much better than that record indicates. Most people are going to look at that and kind of sort of ditch you on that. I said, of course, I know better. Well, let's go back to St. Clair County game. I was listening to the first part of it. Y'all turned them over 3 times in the first 3 series, and you got 14 points off turnovers. Of course, you gave them one back. Is that key to the football game in that it allowed you to dictate tempo?
I think so. We was able to, like you said, force some turnovers early. We forced one right off the bat with Cade getting an interception. Then offensively, we ended up snapping it over our head on 4th and 1 when we was going for it, which wasn't like a turnover because we lost 15 yards and gave it to them in their own territory. And then we were able to actually force another turnover, get the ball back, and then drive it down the field. But we was able to control tempo because of that. But I think defensively played really well all night. I mean, we forced some 3 and outs, was able to get off the field some big down and distances. And, they dropped some footballs along the way, but it was because of how physical our back end and our linebackers were playing. So I was really proud of our defense. And then on the offensive side, we was able to do what we thought we would be able to do going into the game, which was control the line of scrimmage and then hit some play action passes when we needed them. And our guys played really well on both ends, but it did help us. We didn't run the clock near as much as I planned on going into the game, because when I saw our defense and how we were playing against what they were doing, I felt really confident in our defense being on the field, and proud of the guys and the execution that they played with throughout the game. I thought Coach Little and the defensive staff did a really good job implementing a plan, and then at the end of the day, you have to have guys that go execute it, and our guys did a really good job. We have a bunch of really good football players that made a lot of plays in the game, but you're right, it was able. Having them turnovers early, forcing the turnover in their own in the red area was the big one. That was a forced turnover by Worthy, got in there on a strip sack, was able to get the ball inside the 25, and then able to punch it in to go up 14-0. And I think that really shell shocked them early. And by the time they could realize, what happened, really, we were up 21-0 and then 28 after half.
Yeah, well, and a key factor too in the game, I thought, they had an opportunity to, to kind of sort of get the light going. But y'all stopped them before halftime. They got inside your 10-yard line. They went for it on 4th down and didn't make it. And that kept them off the scoreboard. And I felt pretty good at that point that this team, because I think that was the spark that St. Clair County needed, and they didn't get it. And I said after that, you guys kind of sort of stomped on their throat.
Yeah, I thought guys, and then we was able to get a first down. We were backed up in their own end zone inside the 10 there. Defense had a big stop. Then we was able to get a first down. They was using their timeouts and kind of get off to get us to punt, to get the ball back, hopefully have a chance to block a punt deep in their own territory. And we were able to get a first down, get into half, and then open the half up. Gilbert had a big play, return, blocked it up really well, got us in their territory again on the 45, plus 45, and then scored a few plays later. I think they got tired of tackling us there at that point and ended up 28 and then 35. And then right at the start of the 4th quarter, it's 42. And then credit to our defense. I mean, they really couldn't get anything going, and defense rallied to the ball. And man, I'm really proud of our guys. I think I think they mentioned last week how many times they can line up, score 42 on anybody. I can't tell you how many times their people said that on live audio that we got to listen to. And then they weren't able to score 42 on the Wildcats last Friday. And that had a lot to do with their guys, and everything to do really with their guys and how they were able to be physical and make some plays on the football.
Well, Coach, these guys are in new territory, round 3 of the playoffs. Each game, the pressure mounts. What do you do during the week as these games get more and more important to kind of sort of take the edge off? Because it's a long season, it's a grind. These guys are tired a little bit mentally and physically, but come Friday night, they're ready to go. But what do you do to kind of sort of take the edge off?
I don't know. I think we're practicing really physical on Monday and Tuesday. I think we get after each other, and probably I would bet that we're more physical in practice than most teams are right now at this point in time, just to try to keep the edge that we want to tackle really well. But like I told them, I wanted them when we started. Like last year was second round. We want to make a deep run in the playoffs. Our goal is to win a state championship. But like when you get to the quarters, it just gets better and better. Like third round, something special about going out there on a Friday night, this week Thursday night, but still a quarterfinal game. And I'm excited for them. They deserve it. They deserve this opportunity and enjoy it and go out there and play your tails off. But I think just the edge part's just how we practice and what we do and how we do things. I think they do a really good job with it.
Well, I want to ask you a little bit about Fairview in that I know about this football team. They win close games. It seems like a team that, of course, naturally they're going to run the football. They want to slow the pace of the game down and play good defense. They don't, to me, they don't, really stand out as being superstars, but the team executes well. They play good defense and they run the ball, and they are going to be the ones that's going to try to dictate tempo and try to slow this game down, I think. Is that the kind of the way you see that football team?
Yeah, they do. 14 and 21 is big time playmakers. You get them out in space. They're tough to bring down. They'll big play and stuff like that. But they do a good job with tempo. They keep the clock moving. Big guys up front. Love wide zone. 14 does a good job putting his foot in the ground. He's tough to bring down. So they do control tempo with their run game. Do a good job outside the pocket with 15. I think 15 Redding's son does a really good job at quarterback, really gets the offense, manages the offense and makes some plays as well. But they do, I think what they're best, they don't lose games. Like obviously they're 12-0, but they don't beat themselves. They do a really good job of taking care of the football, being disciplined with penalties, and they just do a good job of playing their game. And man, if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to beat them. You ain't going to look around and them give you the football or have a lot of penalties. They're going to do a really good job at that. So we don't have to, if we're going to win the game, we'll have to beat them. They ain't going to beat themselves. So I think that's, attributed to their coaching staff and their kids.
Yeah, definitely so. And that's the way I have thought about it. They just execute very well. And that's what, has made them be good, over a long period of time. Well, going over there, Coach, I know it's great to play at home, but, sometimes I think it's good for a football team to take a road trip, especially if you don't have to go across state. Because, I think sometimes the guys, maybe you can think about a game too much as you're waiting on them to come to you. It kind of gives you an opportunity to kind of sort of break up the routine and maybe changes the focus just a little bit. Do you think that could be a good thing sometimes to play a road game?
I think so. I think we've been pretty good on the road this year. We everyone road loss was at Central. Was a long road trip. Fort Payne early in the year. But we would choose Trammell probably every time. We love being at home. We love to be at our place. But I think you're right, and it's from that standpoint of getting on the road at 3:30. We'll get on the road a little early this week after we eat and get there. Try to get there about 4:45, and then everything really starts rolling on a road trip. About the only downtime you got, so like you said, it's gonna be on the bus ride, and that's it. Get your mind right, listen to music, nap, whatever the guys like to do, and then when you get there, it's getting your stuff and getting taped, and then it's straight to really first group out stuff. So I do like it from that standpoint, and being on the roads, they all have their advantages.
Yeah. Well, Connor, I'm going to start out with you with this question. Do you guys, Joe, like road trips in that? Do you feel like it kind of sort of brings your team together because you can spend some time away from home, so to speak? You get on that bus, get to eat a meal on the road. Do you think that sometimes brings your team together?
I'd say 100%. being able to go the road, just being able to sleep on the bus is always nice. And then after you get a win, just the bus ride back, it's a great time to have.
Well, Colin, what do you think of that? Do you like making the road trips? Do you think it makes you guys, maybe focus a little more?
Oh, yes, sir. I definitely agree. I think it does. And like Beto said, the road trip back is the best part after the win, and everybody's hyped and everything.
Well, I want to ask you, Jacoby, you've had a great, career running the football. These guys around you, I know you want to, pat the guys on the back that make it great for you up front. It has been a great career for you, but you have worked hard to get where you're at.
Yes, sir. I have. The guys up front, they do a lot. They do a lot for me, and I'm very thankful for them.
Well, Lawson, I want to ask you. You play linebacker, I guess you say. You say.
Yes, sir.
What has been the biggest? Going into the season, you knew this team was going to be good on the back end, and the defensive back. Have y'all really improved up front?
I believe we have. I think our D-line's grown the most out of probably our whole defense this year. They've definitely stepped up in different roles than they played last year or even the year before. So just even myself, I had to change positions from last year. I was outside last year, and now I'm inside. So just adapting to a different role and responsibility this year, and everybody stepping up and just being selfless, just doing what's best for the team. So.
Well, Lawson, tell me this: what so far this year? What has been your best game?
I'd probably say ARAB was my best game, the region championship. It was definitely one of the more fun games too. So.
Yeah, I understand that. What about you, Jacoby? Would it be Gunnersville?
Gunnersville game most definitely was my best game.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, Connor, what's been your best game? I want to know something about you. You are a ball hawk. How do you end up in the right place at the right time? Because you've picked off more passes than most players will do in this season than they do in a career. Well, how do you end up in the right place at the right time?
I just listen to our game plan. Most of the teams we end up playing have one stud receiver. So if they've ever got him singled up, I end up just always knowing that the quarterback's most likely to go to his side. I'll just cheat that way a little.
Do you do a lot of film study?
I'd say I do. Most of it is just natural instinct. I'll watch the film, just see all the route combos they do, but most of it I just say it's natural.
Yeah. Coach Vann, would you say that would be, a lot of times players, you don't really coach that. They just have a nose for the football.
Yeah, Veto's really good. He's also a good center fielder, so he's a knack for tracking whether it be a baseball, football, when the ball's in the air. He does a really good job. A lot of that's just natural ability. And obviously we're always cheating him to a side, like you mentioned, especially if they have a guy they really want to throw to. And the quarterback's always going to throw to their dude. At the end of the day, whether, early in the year, Vito was manned up on a guy lately, whether he's at safety, if he's cheating aside or whatever he's doing, he just does a really good job of doing his job. And I think that's what all of our guys have gotten a lot better at. It's just focus on what they're supposed to do and trust the guy next to them to do their job. And when that happens, you got guys like Vito and other guys who reap a lot of rewards from everybody on the team doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, Cohen, I want to ask you this. What was your best game so far?
I would say ARAP too. That was probably my best game.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's a big win over them naturally to clinch the region title. Well, Coach, I want to ask you this. I want you to talk each individually about each one of these players and tell us what they have meant to this team, not only on the field, maybe their leadership off the field.
Yeah, Jacoby, running back, he's Russ. Obviously, you probably hear his name a lot in our offense. We're a run-heavy offense this year. Was last year a little bit too with 7 being able to run it, and they were both back there. But Jacoby's done a really good job. He's almost at 2,000 yards there. He's almost at 2,000 yards this year. But like he mentioned, the tight ends and receiving and receivers block really well. Like everybody on our team, linemen do a really good job creating a way for him, and he's gotten better. He really has gotten better at seeing the creases inside, finding a way to get extra 2 yards when we can get an extra 2. So I've been really proud of him and his effort, and then obviously how much weight he's put on in the all season since January of 23 or 24, whenever this thing started, was impressive. I think he's 150 something when we got here, and so he's done a lot outside the building as well to get his body. All four of these guys have worked hard at that, because I think that's very important to one, stay healthy, but two, be a successful football team and a football player. So that's a big part of what we're trying to do, and they all four do it. And then Austin Lee plays Mike for us. Like he said, he's moved from outside to inside this year. Which is it's a little bit of a difference. He went from, last year's also two different schemes that we're playing. So he's having to learn a new scheme, which requires him to be, talk. And I don't know if you know Law. He's come out of his shell a little bit, and he talks a lot more than he did a year ago out there on the football field. So that's helped a lot being at Mike. He's going to have to communicate. He's done a really good job with that. He went from setting an edge last year all the time to now he's moving around a bunch of different places, getting some calls in for us and getting in some right pressures. And I've been really proud of him. And how well he's come along, played with a broke hand half the year. And so we're proud of Law and what he brings to the table. He's also voted captain on our team, one of the voted captains. And I think that's very important to have that on your, like, that's a pretty big deal. So we're proud of Law. And then Cohen, same deal. He was voted captain. And look, we come into the season with Cohen and all those receivers with Noah Tolson. I think we had a really good 7-on-7 summer. I think even Vaden and all those guys running routes. So Noah, a little older guy, was throwing it really well throughout the summer, and he gets hurt there early in camp, and then we're having to go. We went to Colton, who was probably at the time not ready, but he's just continuously gotten better and better. And then so you got receivers that were selfless early in the year, knowing we were going to run it more than we were going to throw it. Kind of changed our game plan a little bit, and those guys just blocked their tails off regardless of how many times they touched the ball. And then as you get later in the year, he's caught some big touchdown passes in some big games, including region championship. And his selflessness and his blocking throughout the year, and then able to, reap the rewards of all that later in the year. Been really proud of Cohen and what he's brought to the table. Also another voted captain. So proud of him. And then Vado, a young guy, sophomore, very talented guy. Obviously intercepts a lot. We like him on offense as well. We didn't use him on offense near as much early in the year after the injury and stuff. We wanted him one way. And normally when he comes in on offense, we've got to fix that a little bit. He's probably touching it. We probably need to just put him in there and just leave him in a little bit more, because when he's in there, something's happening 2-2-8. But he's been really good for us on both sides in all three phases, really. You've got a block punt, hadn't you? Or one or two this year on specialty. Yes, so I mean, he's in there on a lot of different things and making plays for us. Very athletic, and he's a sophomore, and he's a future leader of the program. And just as a young guy, he's going to have to step up in the next few years and be a leader. You got three seniors sitting beside you there. So, but really proud of Vado. I've talked about him a lot throughout the year, what he brings to our defense and our offense, and just natural ability, and just proud of
it. That sounds a pretty good summary of everybody. Well, Coach, when you first come in last year, of course, a lot of times a team is mostly, coach driven. And then, of course, everybody kind of learns their roles. Has this team really become player driven in that they hold each other accountable and make sure a whole lot easier than it, because that they take accountability on the field and they take care of things without you having to say anything?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot better this year. And it has nothing to do with the group that we had last year. It was just new. What we were trying to do just culturally and how we want to do things was new. So everybody has to learn how it's done. And then so like your seniors last year really didn't know what to hold it to, if that makes sense. Like you're learning and trying to see the tone that's set as well. And these group of seniors and guys do a really good job of doing that. We have a bunch of juniors that do a really good job of doing things like that. Like I'm proud of our older group that's in that locker room. They're fun to be around. Like I enjoy the ride that we're having more than anything, because I don't want it to end. I love the senior group, and I wish we could continue this thing on forever, because, it can end in week 15 in the state championship, and I still don't want it to end, if that makes sense. I really enjoy being around this group of guys, and it's always going to be one of my favorite groups. And so, but, yeah, they've done a really good job of playing together and leading, and been proud of them. Obviously, if you're at this point in the season, there's players on your team that's led the correct way. I don't think there's any group that's playing around the state that don't have a group of guys in that locker room that's trying to do things the right way at this point in time. If you've gotten beat and you're a really good team, that's probably one of the reasons that you are beat. That makes sense. You probably have some issues in that room. So you're right. They've done a really good job this year.
Well, of course, and you turn back the page back to last year, you had Jake Jones at quarterback, and a lot of times in key situations, he was the one that was counted on. If it, that happened a lot of times. This year, I'm going to say that a lot more players have stepped up in that, that they have stepped up into that, which makes you a better football team because the other team don't know where you're coming from.
Yeah, 2 touches at probably the most, but we do a better job of getting the ball, especially the last few weeks. The ball's been spread around a lot, and play action's been a lot better. But that's also contributed to our up front and create some run lanes early in the game for guys like 2 and 23, and have some room to run. Jay Gilbert's had a really good year too. So those guys open up the pass game, and then we're able to spread it around a little bit more than we were a year ago with 7. But 7 was a really good playmaker, rightfully so, especially in year 1 with some things we were doing and trying to do with the quarterback run game, and 2 back there. We were big up front. So, but it has spread around a lot more, and I think that's made us tough to defend over the last few weeks, starting probably around that Gunnersville game, and 7 started throwing that thing a lot better, and he's just continuously getting better with his reads and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're talking about Colton Harding, aren't you? His role has picked up a lot more over the year, and that was a position. There's a big question mark going into the season, but his play has definitely made this team better.
Yeah, he's thrown it really well. He's got some guys to throw to too, so that makes it even easier. So really proud of those guys, and how far Colton's came, and he's like last week it was awesome. He got to hook up with his brother on a 50-yard touchdown pass there late in the second quarter, and I don't think even people on our team besides the offense that knew that we were running a play, I thought Cooper was going to be running out for a pass route. So we've saved that all year, and he was able to connect. But really proud of Colt.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, Connor, I want to ask you on the football team, who's the biggest trash talker?
I definitely say Tegan Harris for sure. Either him or the Mateo brothers.
Yeah. What would you say on that, Cohen?
I'd probably say Tegan.
What about you, Lawson?
Lawson, can you hear us?
Yeah.
I don't think Lawson and him can hear us. He just texted me.
Oh, did he?
If they'll log out and come right back in, Coach,
yeah,
we'll
log
bring
out and
them
log
in.
back in.
I'll text him.
Okay.
Well, hey, Connor, while they're taking, I want to ask you about this. What do you think about this guy here, Coach Vann? What has he meant to you since he's come to this program?
He's meant a lot. Just the accountability he holds you to. You can make the smallest mistake and he'll still get on you. It's just a great coach. Never lets anything slide.
What about you, Coach? What's your thoughts on Coach Vann?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with what Connor said. He holds us accountable and makes us good, or better football players and a better man, and teaches us a lot of things. I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you this. Besides Coach Vann, Cohen, who's your favorite coach on staff?
I have to say Coach Wilson.
Coach Vann. Did you hear that? Besides Coach Vann.
Yeah, besides Coach Vann. Yeah. But what about you, Connor? Who's your favorite coach besides Coach Vann?
I'll probably have to go with Coach Matt. He's just a funny guy. He says whatever comes to mind.
What you, Cohen? Who'd you say?
Coach Wilson.
There you go.
Well, Coach Vann, I want to ask you, and I want to ask you about this because I want you to kind of bring this while the others are trying to work back on. Talk about your coaching staff. I mean, those guys don't get a lot of credit, and they put in a lot of time and a lot of because naturally you guys don't get paid the kind of money you should be getting paid. But talk about some of the staff and what they have meant to this program so far.
You want me to name every one of them? You want to go through all of them?
Whoever you want to bring up. Yeah.
Yeah, if I start, how about this? I'll just go through the coordinators. That way I don't leave anybody out.
Okay. All right.
Special teams coordinator, Matt Malone, he does a really good job, very detailed in the special teams. I think we're one of the best special teams units, and Coach does a really good job of being detail oriented with it. I think our coordinators, that's what makes them really good. They're detailed in what they do. I think we win the special teams battle. We're close or around that every week, and we're trying to put pressure on all three phases. We want the other team feeling that pressure the entire game, whether we're bringing pressure on punts, whether we're looking like we're bringing pressure and we're setting up a return, or whether it be faking a punt, which we hadn't done yet, or whatever it may be that we're trying to accomplish on special teams. Like we're trying to be really good at it. We've returned the ball really well on return games. So I've been really proud of Coach Mack, what he's brought to the table with special teams. Coach Little was a big hire for us in the offseason. I really think Coach Little matched up with what I really wanted them to accomplish with their defense. It looked like they just went by. Go. And so he does a really good job. He was at Sylvania last year, so I was able to steal him down here. I think if you've been at Sylvania before, you're all right guy, right? So it's like, no, we love Coach Little down here. He does a really good job of getting us in some really good things. We move a lot up front. We get some things on defense I think really fits what we want to do, and he also has a system that will fit whatever personnel we have. Coach Little's been a huge asset for us and what we're trying to accomplish here, and I'm super proud. I promise you I'm going to keep Coach Little with me as long as I possibly can. I think he's really good. I think he's a bright young mind, and really proud to have him here, and we're going to do everything we can to keep him here forever. I promise you. And then you got Coach Wilson as well. Coach Wilson does a really good job on the offensive side, offense coordinator. He's getting really close, probably as we go over the next few years, been able to call it on his own, and if I can ever give it up. But he does a really good job with that. He does a good job with receivers, helps out a lot with the pass game, and he's starting to become more and more knowledgeable with the run game as well. I think he's done a fantastic job over the last year studying up on that. And I'm excited about his future. I think, like the player said, he works them really hard. He's detailed in the weight room. Him and Mac both do a good job in that room as well, which is one of my favorite rooms to be in as well. But those two guys do a really good job. But those three coordinators, without having to talk about the entire staff, which would take a minute. I know you weren't asking that, but those three guys are very, very important to what we're trying to do. And then the entire coaching staff as a whole, I think we have a lot of assistants that do what their coordinators ask them to do and do it to the best of their ability. And they're getting better and better too. I'm proud to have the staff that we have. I love our staff, our coaching staff. I think the continuity in there is really good. I think they get the camaraderie is really good. That's something that I try to take pride into. I've been the head football coach for 6 years now, I think, not very long. But I try to have a staff that really they get along and they like each other, because if they don't, I'll just get rid of them and we'll move on and find somebody else. Because if we're going to be with each other as much as I want to be with each other, which is 5 months out of the year during season, then we're going to have to get along. So, but I'm really proud of our guys, and I'm glad that we have the group of coaches that we do here at Scottsboro.
Well, before I go back to the guys, I want to ask you about one player, though. Cole, your kicker. Kicking game is so important. He's been automatic on extra points, and he puts the ball in the end zone. It's tough on a football team when you've got to start from the 20-yard line every time.
That's awesome. Sets the defense up in really good position, and he punts it. In my opinion, he's a better punter than he is anything. He does. The other night, he flipped the field against St. Clair in a huge situation for us. I know we had a lead, but kicked it way down. I think it was 58 in the air or something like that. He done it, and it had hang time too. So he does a really good job in all three phases for us, or in all three kicking games that we have three. He does a really good job of field goal. Vado holds. If Vado don't mess up the hold, he'll make it. If Vado's the one that's key there, the snap, the hold part. But if we get the snap and the hold, Cole does a really good job getting the ball up there and it going in. So, and then like you said, touchback's key. That's a huge deal for our defense. Forcing somebody to go 80 yards in high school football is really tough. If you don't give up the explosive, which is our goal every time, create a negative. Don't give up an explosive, make them snap the ball over and over. And 9 times out of 10, that offense will shoot themselves in the foot. So he gives us some good starting points.
Yeah, I understand. Well, guys, I want to ask you this question. I want to bring, is there anybody on the team that does a good impression of Coach Vann?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me rephrase it. Is there someone that does it that you don't want to call out in front of Coach Vann?
I can't think of anybody.
Can't think of anybody. Well, is there anything that some of the things that he does that you just can't help but laugh? Maybe it's something he does that's routine, or maybe something he says at practice that makes you want to laugh sometimes.
I mean, sometimes he'll talk to you in the most serious way, and you don't know if he's joking or not. It's just you can kind of just look at him. You can't tell if he's joking with you or not. Then a few minutes later, he'll come back. He's like, I'm joking with you, right?
So he try to keep things alive a little bit anyway. Don't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jacoby, I want to ask you this: is there an opportunity for you to go play at the next level?
Yes, sir, there is.
Who has so far reached out to you?
UNA.
UNA? Do you think that's a good possibility you may go there?
I think so.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to be and not too far from home either. What about you other guys? Is the future maybe, what are y'all's plans? College? And let's start with you, Connor. I know you're just a sophomore, but when football's over with, do you have kind of what you might want to do in the future?
I mean, it'd be great to go play at the next level at football, either football or baseball. But I mean, if not, I'd just like to go to college and do something from there. I haven't got that all planned out yet.
Okay. What about you other two guys? What are your plans for the future when your football day's in?
I plan on going ahead and going to college, get my engineering degree, and going from there. So.
Same here. I plan to go to college, get an engineering degree.
Big money.
Big money. I understand that. But I'm sure the focus right now is football. What has this, I want you all four to answer. What has this season meant to y'all? Naturally, I mean, I've been through exactly what y'all have been through. I won a state championship in 1984, but there's a bond that's forming between you guys that you will never forget. And when y'all get together 20 years from now, it will never change. It's a kind of a brotherhood. What has this season meant to each one of y'all individually? I'll let you whoever wants to start, go.
I'd just say, it's awesome just being with these guys for however long we've been together, just getting to bond. I mean, most of these people have been here since January of the start of the year. And like you said, this is a team that you'll never forget. You could be 80 and you'll never forget this team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just something special, just getting to do with these group of guys that have been here. We've been through everything together. Just keep going. It means a lot.
I'm just thankful for the opportunity. Like you said, I'll remember this ride for the rest of my life. I mean, there's no forgetting it. I've had a lot of fun and just hope to keep it going for a couple more games and win it all.
This is something that I'll remember forever. Like having fun with my brothers. This is a big opportunity, a big run we can make.
Well, I want to ask you this, Jacoby, before I'm going to go to Howie after this. Was the goal at the first of this year to run for 2,000 yards? Because I know if you did that, you knew this team was going to be successful.
The goal was 2,000 yards.
Uh-huh. So 2,000 icing on the cake.
2,000 icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Howie, I'm going to turn it over to you and let them off the hook for a few minutes and let you ask a few questions.
I want to know why Coach Vann grinned when he found out I was fixing to ask questions.
Don't tell him what you want.
Lawson, you get the defensive signals and everything from Coach Little. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to get used to his little sound that he makes when he wants to change something?
I mean, it didn't take that long because, it's an odd sound for sure. It'll catch you off guard. I mean, you hear it. I mean, he can be on the opposite side of the field from me, and I'll hear it and make that noise. So it's weird, but
right,
it is what it is. They get your attention.
When he was at Sylvania last year, he had a designated get back coach, and that was me because he was bad about going onto the field, and I had to pull him back all the time. And
yes, sir.
I would wake up on Friday nights hearing that noise, whatever he calls it, during the night because he does it the whole game.
He does.
Connor, you're talking about the littlest details that doesn't go right. Coach Vann gets on to you. I got a quick story. When he was at Sylvania, he got onto the other team's defense because they didn't line up right because his offensive play was wanting to go a certain way and they did not line up the way they're supposed to. So
That
it's
sounds
not
like
just
something
y'all.
different.
Yeah, it's not just y'all. It's the other team too. He'll get onto if they don't line up right. So, Coach Vann, you know that's true. You know what I'm talking about. I see got a smile on your face. You know what I'm talking about. Hey guys, I'm hearing Vado and Law and all that stuff. How many on the team do y'all have nicknames for, and who's got the best team nickname?
I mean, I'd say we have a lot of nicknames, but the first one my head goes to is Poopy, for sure.
And who would that be?
Antonio Brox, he plays wide receiver for us. He's a senior this year.
I know we got Law, we got Vado. Jacoby, you got a nickname that they call you?
Mike.
Mike. I think they were changing to 2K man, 2,000 yard man, 2K. Cohen, you got a nickname?
No, sir, not really. Just Co. Something simple.
Co. Well,
Yeah.
that's cool. Coach Vann, how many of these kids, is it easier to remember them by the nicknames or by the numbers?
I mean, I don't know. I probably say them all. I don't really know. To be honest with you, I like it's Vado. It's Vado for me. It's Vado, Kobe, Law, and Cole. So that's how I get through these four. And then all of them's probably got like the toughest one for me is Asher Gillian's our right guard and Aiden Mashburn's our right tackle. And I probably get them wrong all the time. I'll be screaming Ash or Mash. That's the two, Ash or Mash. And so I get those mixed up a lot.
Guys, you mind if I ask a few personal questions, get to know y'all a little bit away from the field?
Yes, sir.
We're going to start with Cohen over here on the right side. What's your favorite type of music?
Probably country.
All right. Law?
That's definitely country for me.
2K?
Kobe.
Jacoby, that's your new name for me, buddy. It's 2K. You 2,000 yard man. 2K. What's your favorite music?
Hip hop and R&B.
Beto?
I'd say country. It really just depends on the day.
Today's Tuesday, so what's today?
Probably country. That's what I listened to on the way to school this morning.
Hey, Jacoby's got mine. I like the R&B and all that.
We'll work our way back around. Favorite food or restaurant you like to eat at, Vado?
I don't know. I mean, there's not really much to eat around here, but anytime I go to KC's barbecue, that place, it's just really good every time I go. Any barbecue place, I'd say, really.
Kobe?
Texas Roadhouse.
Law?
I'd have to go Rosie's. It's in Huntsville. It's a Mexican place in Huntsville.
Right, absolutely. Cohen?
Yeah, I have to agree with Law. Any Mexican place is where it's at.
Good deal. Put y'all on the spot real quick. Cohen, your favorite teacher?
Coach Norton.
Law?
I'd have to go Coach McNorton too. That's who I gave my senior jersey to when we had senior night. So
2K?
Miss Borum.
I'd probably say mine's Miss Manning.
You know, I asked this question a couple of years ago, and we kind of joke around with it, but we asked the question a couple of years ago, and the guy said Coach Vann, and that next week he carried the ball 42 times for 300 and something yards.
Aiden
Farham. So if any of y'all had Coach Vann, that was your chance to get a
lot. A chance to touch it 42 times.
That's a lot of carries. A lot of carries there.
42 times. Kobe, you messed up, son. You should have said Coach Vann.
That's what we'll ask you a couple more real quick, and then we'll get on move out of the way. Favorite athlete, favorite professional athlete. It don't have to be football player. It can be any favorite athlete. I don't just Go ahead, Beto.
I'd definitely say LeBron James.
Okay.
I say Kevin Durant.
Nice. Good. Law.
I'd have to go Chipper Jones. He used to play for the Braves. He's retired now, but I just watched him growing up and loved watching him. So
Good. Cohen.
I'll say Mike Trout. He's a baseball player.
Yeah. That's good. Good deal. Start with Cohen, work our way back around real quick. Favorite subject?
I'll go math.
Law.
math for me too.
History for me.
I'd say history as well.
2 math, 2 history. Coach Vann, what do you teach?
In school. In school. Teach it all, man. I teach all subjects, whatever comes in my classroom that they need to do. I figured all of them was going to say PE. I'm just glad they picked a subject.
Well, you know, in the past, I've actually said PE and lunch cannot be either subject that you pick.
PE and lunch. That would be Wilson's favorite, lunch.
Yep. One more, then we'll turn it back over to Phil, see if he's got a few more questions. Let's see, what away from football, what do y'all enjoy doing away from football? Beto?
I'd say I enjoy being outside, just being able to get outside during the summer, go swim, go to the beach.
Okay.
I enjoy spending time with my friends and family, you know, like hanging out with them, doing some things, some activities.
Law?
I enjoy deer hunting and, opening days this weekend, so I'm pretty excited for that.
How many deers have you killed in the past?
I think I'm at 5 so far.
How many of these
Yeah. I mean, you missed.
Coach
He's
Vann's
missed more
asking.
than he's killed. Yeah, he's definitely missed more than he's killed, I bet.
Coach Vann's asking, how many have you missed?
2.
Out of those
Okay.
5, how many wasn't tied up that you actually killed while they was running?
Oh, no. None of them tied up.
He killed all 5 spotlight. He didn't tell you that part.
Right under the corn feeder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Cohen.
I would just say hunt or anything, hanging out with my friends or anything like that.
He said hunting, but he didn't say deer hunting because he knew he was fixing to get drilled with a lot of questions. Phil, I'll let you ask a couple more questions before we let these guys go.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you guys, each individual, you can point these out. I mean, we could, Coach Vann could have brought many other players on, and they've been big contributors to this team. Some of y'all pick out some of the players on this team that has meant a lot because, teammates likes to hear their names. But, each one of you, tell a few players that you think a lot of on this football team.
Taking Harris.
Yeah.
I'd say Cooper Harding. He's our tight end, and I think he stepped up in the leadership role this year.
I would say Colton. He had a big job to fill after Noah got hurt, and I think he's done a great job stepping up and doing what we've asked him to do and everything.
I'd probably say Theron Miles. He really didn't have a spot coming into the season, and he's just every day he's put his head down and worked.
Coach Vann's got a grin on his face. What is that for, Coach?
I love Theron. Theron's awesome. He makes our offense go more than people realize. He does a really good job blocking. He's caught some touchdown passes the last few weeks, but he just does a really good job. I give him a hard time at practice is when I'm laughing because he'll get his fair share of mess ups and Coach Vann getting on to him. But we love Theron. He really is a good player for us and a big part of our offense and what we're trying to do. His blocking's been huge for us this year and really allowed us to put Gilbert in the backfield more and not have Gilbert having to block all the time. And 12's a really good blocker too. He's done a really good job. If he'll keep his feet more, it'd be really, really good. That's what we tell him. But he does a good job for us.
Well, guys, I want to ask you this. Of course, I've been around Scottsboro football probably way before your days. I was around. Of course, I guess y'all heard about people like Corey Wellington and folks along that line, but that's when I was calling games. But I have been to Trammell Stadium many times. It's a special place. You guys speak on that. I mean, the community well supports this football program home and away, but what does it mean to play in Trammell Stadium?
I just say it's a blessing. This summer, spent a lot of money on a brand new speaker system, and the year before we got in the video board. I mean, it's just an awesome environment. Can't get no better than this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great atmosphere. Everybody supports us very well, and all the new stuff we've got is really cool.
I'm just very thankful for our atmosphere. I think it's the best around anywhere close within us. So just a grateful opportunity to play for it.
I'm very thankful for our fans. They always come out and support us. They be as loud as they can. They always got the crowd rocking.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Coach Vann, I want you to comment on that. I mean, I know fans are a big part, of the program. Naturally, they're going to come out more when you're winning, which is okay. That's fine. The more voices, that's great. But also the administration at Scottsboro, it has to be a huge help in making this program what it is, not only football, but all sports programs.
Yeah, we're thankful for, first off, our admin. They've done a really good job supporting our football program. That's Coach Tubbs, Miss Hodges, and Miss Hester, all three, and then Coach, Haas at the top, Oak Flair superintendent, who we really love and are thankful for because his support's big time for our football program. And we hope we end up with that guy as well. But he does a really good job for us, supporting us, and then our entire administration as a whole does. That's every school, that's Caldwell, Collins, Nelson, the junior high. All those administrators also do a really good job supporting because we have coaches everywhere, all in every school building. We have football coaches there teaching, and they support, and we're thankful for that. And then Trammell Stadium, special place. Really proud to have the opportunity to coach here. It's that in itself is a blessing to be able to stand on the sidelines at Trammell Stadium, be the head football coach is a blessing because I think it's a special place. I think it's very historical. I think there's been special things done here, and we're hoping to add to those things. There's never been a semifinal game hosted in Trammell Stadium. That's what we're trying to take care of this week, regardless of what everybody else thinks that we can't do it, regardless of everybody that's picking, saying we don't need to show up. We're not going to forget that. But we're trying to get that done as well. And I'm super proud of our fans and our community supporting these guys. And I tell them guys all the time that they have a special place here. People care about it. And so enjoy it. It's not like this everywhere. And so enjoy that part of it.
Yeah. Cherish every moment. I've been through what you guys are going through now. Cherish every moment. Take a moment to kind of sort of absorb that atmosphere because, it's something special. Especially each round you go. Well, Coach, I want to ask you one more question. Thursday, you're going to be taking the trip. Walk us through the routine day from start to finish.
Yeah, we'll have our breakfast at 7 a.m. Like we always do in the high school lunchroom. We'll get talked to by probably our team chaplain, Ian Derrick, and then we'll go on into the school day, and then we'll get those guys out about 11:15 for lunch. We'll leave from 11:45 to head over here. We'll lay around for a little bit, get our meetings done, give them time to lay around, go eat at 3, pack it up when we get back from there and pull out by 3:40. And head towards Fairview and hopefully get there around that 4:45, 4:50 mark. What I got us at. Then we'll get rolling for 5:20s will be the first tape group. So it's going to get there and get rolling. But that's the day on Thursday, and hopefully guys are just locked in and ready to go. But I tell them all the time, you can't win a game between the time you wake up and 7 o'clock kickoff, but you sure as heck can lose it with how you prepare your mind and how you get ready throughout the day. And if all you want to do is goof off from the time you get here to the time 7 o'clock hits, don't think that you're going to be prepared to play the game. So you can definitely lose the game if you prepare the right way. That don't guarantee that you're going to win it, but I can promise you if you're not mentally ready to go, you definitely can lose it that way. So our guys normally do a really good job of that. Hopefully they do a really good job of that this Thursday in a big quarterfinal game against a really, really good Fairview team.
No, of course. Now, also, I'm going to guess that the plan also is to get back on that bus about 9 o'clock and celebrating that ride home back to Scottsboro.
That's right. The way both teams run the football, maybe 8:15, right? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that clock,
Yeah, we
that clock
figure it's
may
going to be
roll.
a short one.
Yeah, that clock may roll a little bit as much as both teams run the football, but no matter what, that's always the goal. And it's going to be, it's definitely going to be a tough one, but it's something I know our guys are ready for. We're going down there to try to be physical and play a tough team. So give everything we got. But like I said, Fairview's really good, well-coached football team. They're 12-0 for a reason. We know what we're going to have to do in order to give ourselves an opportunity. And like I said, we're going to listen to everybody else outside of here tell us we can't, because I think that's my favorite part of it. I guess everybody says, what was it, Law? We don't need to go warm up, right? We might as well not warm up. We might as well
stay at home.
Might as well stay at home, but I promise you there's going to be a yellow bus pull up with Scottsboro City Schools on the side of it, and we're stepping off of it. And we're going to get everything.
And naturally want to hear from you on scoreboard after the game's over too. That would be a nice plus in that. Be nice to, make it another round. Because I'm going to tell you something, this is a special time. And, many folks don't get to do that, is getting to play football Thanksgiving week. That's one of the greatest times. Because I can remember back when we practiced on Thanksgiving Day, it was just, it was just so meaningful. So, of course, that's putting the cart before the horse, but take care of things on Thursday night. And maybe this football team, or hopefully this football team, is going to be getting to the semifinals a week from now. Well, Howie, I'll turn it back over to you, let you finish it up. But I appreciate you guys coming on. I want to wish you the best. Enjoy the ride because I know it's enjoyable. I want you to understand too, you're living life for your community. These folks is coming out and seeing you, and they wish they could be where you're at, so cherish every moment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're gonna let you get out here. Got a couple quick things we'll take care of. We appreciate your time, like Phil said, and Coach Vann. We appreciate you bringing these young men on and letting us talk. Kind of like what I talked about before we went live. Me and you and Randy started this ride back several years ago, and at first you was a little hesitant about it, but I think you enjoyed it as much, if not more, than we do right now, and we appreciate your time as well. But guys, let me ask you something about Coach Vann real quick. How many times a practice do you hear him speak about himself in third person?
I'd say a pretty good amount of times, I guess.
He mentioned it. He went nearly the whole show until a while ago. He mentioned Coach Vann, the third person in Coach Vann. I'm like, finally, we get the real Coach Vann to come out. Because used to, that was one of my favorite things he'd always talk about. Two more things. We'll let y'all guys go, and we're going to start with Cohen on this one here. Y'all have any quote unquote superstitions or rituals that you may have to do before you take the field?
Like for me personally, like what I like to do before.
Yes.
I would say just like listen to music, just chilling. Maybe take a little quick nap before and listen to music.
Law?
I don't have any in particular. Actually, I just kind of go with the flow. Just try to think of the game all day.
Is it tough enough just to remember all the times and everything that Coach Vann wants y'all to do certain things? Because I know he posted it on the locker room wall once y'all get there, as far as first tape job and this and that and all that. Is it difficult to keep up with all that times?
I mean, I guess it was in the beginning. I think we've all kind of got it memorized now, so it's just kind of go with the flow. I mean, we know what we're doing at this point. So,
Jacoby, any superstitions or rituals before you hit the field?
No, I don't really have anything. I just listen to music before the game.
Do you have a certain song or anything you got to listen to, a certain playlist?
I got one song. It's called "Games of War" by NBA YoungBoy.
Beto?
I'd say before every football game, I always have these lifesaver gummies that I'll eat.
Dude, if it'll keep on getting you interceptions, we'll buy you a couple boxes of them.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
All right, Beto, we're going to start with you. At the end of every show, we always allow everybody to give a shout out to whoever you want to, as many people as you want to. So, Beto, we'll start with you.
I'd say Caden Holcomb. I've known him my whole life. He's been ever since I got interviewed by the news. He's like, next time you get interviewed, I need you to shout me out. So, I'd say Caden Holcomb.
Jacoby.
I just want to shout out to all of my brothers on the football team. Love y'all boys.
Law.
Just Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and then my family and my friends that's listening in.
Awesome. Cohen.
I just agree with Kobe, like all my brothers on the team. Shout out to all of them.
Last but not least, Coach Vann.
Yeah, I'd shout out my wife, my kids, my newborn, Hallie, who's starting to sleep a little better. I think my wife's just done a better job of getting up with her, not making me do it. I think I've been sleeping through the night. And Cotton, so Cotton, Hannah, and Hallie, shout them out. They deal with me at home, and during football season, that's really not a fun task, I don't think, especially depending on the week. I don't think they really much cared to have me at home after Brewer and for a few weeks after that. But I'm thankful for them, and that's my shout out.
Well, hey, Cole, I want to ask you about that Brewer game. Coach, do you think that loss made this team a lot better?
I think we would have still been pretty good if we'd have won.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. No, I think it did help. We did have some key injuries, but we also was up 24-7 and kind of let our foot off the gas. But give Brewer, like I tell everybody, give Brewer a lot of credit. They made a lot of plays in the game that they had to go up and make in traffic. And did we leave some guys open? Yes. But they also went up and made a lot of plays in the game. So give them credit first off, and then secondly, we've got to do a better job being prepared. I've got to do it. That loss is Coach Vann's fault. It has nothing to do with these guys. I've got to prepare them better and make sure that we don't have one of those moments and be in a situation where we lose that game. So that's really, I think that's what was the worst part of it all was the blame was rightfully so. It was on me. I've got to have us better prepared and ready to go. But I was really proud of our guys of responding to that. I think we learned a lot from it as a group, and hopefully our program moving forward will learn from it for years to come, because I can promise you I'll never forget it as long as I live. And I know that these guys and the guys in the program that went through it will never get tired of me reminding them every year about it to be prepared and ready to go. But I do know what you're saying. I do think it helped us. And listen, it's behind us now. We're in a new season. I told our guys when the season ended, we sought out to win a region championship when this year started. Was the record what we wanted it to be? Absolutely not. But we did our goal. We won a region championship. Now our goal is to win a state championship, and it's one game at a time. We've been able to win the first two. Now all our focus is on Fairview and whatever lessons we've learned from the Brewer game, from the Central Clay game, even back to Fort Payne and Mars Hill. We played 3 teams in the non-region that are 33-2, and right now I think they're 35 after last week and 3. So I mean, we've had 3 non-region games against teams, I guess they were, I don't know what the exact record is, but it's up there. The 3 non-region teams that are really, really good. And we've learned from all those losses and all those wins, and we're trying to use that to hopefully continue to win.
Yeah, I did. I think you put those in the back of your mind. You don't actually put them away, but they're a reminder of what you don't want to be, so to speak. Well, Coach, congratulations on the newborn. I know sometimes I guess you're able to put the football down at the door because, having a family means so much. But I wonder, Coach, is having 2 kids now, and of course, and a wife, does it make you appreciate these guys more?
It does. I think I've been a little different since probably even Cotton was born. But it does. Like I love the group that's in that locker room. I look at them like they're mine more than they probably ever realize I do, because I care about them, and I think they all bring a lot to the table. But I also care about them outside the room. Sometimes they probably don't feel like that, but I hope they know that. And they're really good group of guys. And when you have your own. It's like I tell people all the time. I think I tell them in parent meetings all the time. I never really understood why people hated Coach Vann so much with their kids and stuff until I had kids, because you don't realize how much you love somebody until you have your own kids, I don't think. And it changes your outlook on it, and also changes your outlook on your own play group of guys we've had. But yeah, that's it.
Well, I want to ask you guys, do y'all feel that way about Coach Vann, as you can kind of consider him another family member that you can lean on him when you need him?
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir, for
100%.
Yes, sir.
100%.
All right, Howie.
All right, Coach Vann, we appreciate your time. Guys, Connor, Cohen, Jacoby, Lawson, we appreciate y'all joining us tonight. I want to finish up by saying this real quick. Coach Vann, our good friend, Coach Ryan Clark, says it's his fault that y'all lost the Fort Payne game because you put him up there in the booth.
Yeah, and he didn't help at all. He was he was he was more worried about recruiting softball players, I think. I mean, he's just all his mind's on softball. Did you ever ask him about his recruiting? Like how
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
you ask him next time you're on there again.
Yeah.
His
Yeah, well,
recruiting checklist. Ask him that.
okay. All right. Yeah. I didn't know about that, but yeah. I know the last two times we've had him on, he's had to cover up his whiteboard because he's had names on there that he didn't want to get out.
Yeah, I can't say it. I love Ryan Clark. I miss him, man. We don't talk as much as I'd like to, especially during football season. We talk more when I'm out of season, and actually then he goes into season. So it's hard for us to catch up. I try to catch a couple softball games. I was able to catch one last year and then go out and eat with him after. We miss him. It was really enjoyable at Sylvania having him around and develop the friendship with him. We was able to do some, and it was fun. That ride there at Sylvania and winning those games was fun, something you'll never forget. And he was there. And so kind of like Phil said, like these guys are going through with their teammates, something that they'll remember forever. Well, you do the same thing with staffs. I think you go through a lot together, and you're able to make those runs and develop those friendships that'll go with you forever. And Ryan Clark's definitely one of those. And if I can ever, if he ever gets tired of softball, he'll always have a football spot with me, I promise, because he's a really good football mind and a really good coach that cares about his guys.
Yeah, the last show, the last show we had him on, he mentioned about y'all going on a vacation, and his wife said something about y'all were neighbors with Jesus in the Smoky Mountains. That's how high up y'all were.
Yeah. It was me, him, and Lee. The Lees were there too. Yeah, there was a bad storm come through. That's what they're talking about, probably. It was rough.
Yes. Said the girls,
Hey.
the wives stayed in the basements, and y'all were out watching everything else.
Hey, y'all were fine. Y'all were up in God's country.
Y'all need to ask. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You need to ask Mark next time you have him on too. Ask him what his favorite coaching office conversation was. See what he said. See if we can get that out of him.
I know one thing that is brought up a lot, and guys, we're gonna get you out here. I know y'all don't want to hear about this stuff, but it's if y'all knew just half the stuff that I've heard Coach Vann talk about in the past and the coaching staff, y'all would just die laughing. But Sylvania's getting ready to play a couple years ago, and Coach Arnold's standing over there shaking his head. I said, Coach Arnold, what's going on? He said, Vann and Clark, Vann and Clark's at it again. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, they're already at it. And I said, is that good or bad? He said, no, that's a good sign if they're at it this early in the game. It hadn't even had the coin toss yet, and they're already at each other about doing different things the way it should have been done. And
yeah, me and Clark definitely had our moments. Me and Little do too. I think that's what makes that's why I like Little too. I think that's me and Little have that same type relationship, and so it's I think that's very good to have though on a staff.
it's I can see you in Coach Little kind of taking the place of Coach Clark to a certain extent. I can kind of see that, yeah. And, but it's some of the stuff that I saw you do and hear you say, it was just hilarious, and it was nothing bad. It's just things that coaches say and not realize they say it when they said it. Like down in Ohatchee, when the referee got onto you for being on the field, you said, "Wait, what am I going to do? Kill the grass by standing here?" And you didn't even realize you said it till we did the show that next week, and you was like, "Did I really say that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you did." And so
yeah, Coach Mack tells me all the time I need to I don't have a really good filter. You know, I say something before I realize I say it. And I'm like, Coach, you're the one to talk. Am I right, guys? Coach Mack's the one to talk. Like, he has no filter, and he's trying to tell me about how I need to have one. And it's just hypocrite, man. That's what I tell.
Guys, it's an honor meeting y'all. Pleasure meeting y'all. Best of luck Thursday night at Fairview, 7 o'clock. Everybody from Scottsboro that's watching this, go out and support the Wildcats. A huge game. And I think there's a little, as Phil Harris would say, there's a burr underneath their saddle because of they're being told not even to show up. So I think they got a point to prove come Thursday night.
A little chip on the shoulder.
There you go. So for myself, Phil Harris, Coach Tyler Vann, thank you for joining us. For Connor, Cohen, Lawson, and Jacoby, guys, I appreciate your time. Y'all could have been doing anything else, but y'all took the time to join us. We appreciate it. Best of luck Thursday night, and hopefully that get that win Thursday night. Will y'all play at home next week, or do you know yet, Coach?
If we win, we play home.
So go get that win Thursday night. Have a home game Thanksgiving week. That would be a great.
Be the first one ever in school history if we were able to do it.
Wow, that's awesome. That's something to set your sights on right there, making school history right there, guys. So, but thanks for joining us, guys, and appreciate everything. So, good night, everybody. And